Happy Homebrew Wednesday, folks. Ryan here. How's it going? See what I got here? This kind of cloudy-ish looking beer. Let's see, what do we... I'll go look for the damn flashlight again. I'll always pull up my phone because it's probably just as good. That's cloudy, right? It's a hoppy beer without being a hoppy beer. It's not bad. Definitely has its own flavor. This is the last glass of the Maris Otter Fuggle Smash that I did. Those of you who don't remember or didn't watch, I don't know. Actually, I may never even talked about it, but I used Maris Otter, Mutton's Maris Otter LME, and a few pounds of Maris Otter grain. Did a mini mash, and then I put Fuggle hops in it. I think 3 or 4 ounces of Fuggle hops went into it. So what do I mean by it's bitter or it's hoppy but not hoppy? Well, it's not hoppy because it's not super bitter. It does have more kind of a flavor to it. But it, and it has a decent amount of hops in it, but I mean, not very high IBUs. And I know when people say it's hoppy, I mean IBUs are higher. And so I'm not going to dispute that because it's really what it means. But I'm just saying it's hoppy because it has a good number of ounces of hops, which no one ever really talks about too much, unless they're explaining a beer that they consider hoppy. Anyway, don't have a whole lot to report on this week. Mexican Cerveza. Actually, I think the Mexican Cerveza was kegged before last week's episode. Yeah. So that's taken care of. I racked the Brewer's Best IPA in secondary this weekend. I was debating over dry hopping it, but it seems to have a pretty good aroma on its own. 1.5 ounces of Cascade Ride to it right at Flame Out, so I think that's probably contributing to that. Otherwise, I was going to put another ounce or two of Cascade in, I think, but I think I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to just get it bottled up in a couple weeks, or maybe just a week. Probably won't be ready to drink by IPA day, which I'm not quite sure when that is this year. Oh, that is just a good looking beer. But I really don't think it's a great beer, honestly. But it's definitely a beer that would make a good base for something. So, with the Mexican Cerveza that's in the keg, I'm trying out a set it and forget it method. The last 2 beers I put in the keg I haven't been too pleased with, and I'm not sure if it's because of the beers themselves or the keg. One of those recipes, the honey ale, I had before. I mean, it was okay, but the bittersweet blonde kind of has a similar taste to it, which I cleaned everything out, so it's, not getting the flavors from that. So I just wondered maybe I didn't have carved up enough or something. I'd kind of done I had done it 3 days at like 18 psi, and now looking back on it, I know that's not enough. This set it and forget it method. You set it, there's a website you go to, you tell what kind of beer it is or what you want for CO2 levels. It tells you what to set it to, what to set your regulator to, and then you just leave it for 2 to 3 weeks. And then it's supposed to be carbonated the right amount. Some folks will tell you to go like 30 psi right the first day, then take it down 20 the next day, and shake it up and stuff. There's kind of mixed results on that. Some people say that it doesn't really get carbonated correctly. Really, my big concern right now is the beer not aging properly. A lot of people, they say, just age in secondary, but I've never really felt that was good enough. I think there's something to being in that last stage. But I've always bottle conditioned too, so I've always had another extra couple weeks to bottle condition, and it was always off that first week. And not so much the carbonation. I always thought the carbonation was just about right, and it would get a little more in the next week, but just the flavor itself was different. And I guess you could say the carbonation could have been a part of that. So I think I know what I'm going to do next month for my 2 beers. I think I'm going to order from Northern Brewer. Yeah, my mind will probably change because I do that a lot. I might go for the Smashing Pumpkin Ale and the Dry Dock Vanilla Porter they have. I kind of been wanting to do a vanilla something. I think, like a vanilla stout or vanilla porter would be really good, and that's the only one that Northern Brewer has, and they'd give me an opportunity to put something other than hops in secondary, which I don't do that a whole lot, but it'd be good to try something else out. Anyway, I think that's all I got for you this week. I'll probably rack this out this weekend, which that was a very active one. You've seen the video last week, and it's calmed down. I think every once in a while I've heard a little burp, but I will put that in the secondary. I want to keg that very much, so that might sit in secondary until the keg is empty, and so another week on the keg. Well, half a week. I could probably start drinking it this weekend. So probably about the time the keg is empty, it will be time to put the stout in. But now, there's one more thing, is I want to do a lager this fall. So I think once the stout is done or close to done, I will probably brew a lager of some sort. Maybe an Oktoberfest beer. So I like to do a lager in the fall and the spring. I've only done two lagers, and there's only been one fall and spring since I started. But yeah, I'd like to try something new. What have I done? I've done a Continental Pilsner and a black lager so far, so I think maybe I'll go with an Oktoberfest next time. And I guess I could do an Oktoberfest as an ale and not have to worry about the temperature so much, but I'd like to do a little authentic. I have the freezer to do it, but there's only room for my keg in there or one secondary. So I don't know. I want to do it, but I don't know if I'll have time to or be able to get to it. But I prefer to do it when it's a little cooler outside. It doesn't cost as much to run the freezer, and if it's cool outside, then all I'm doing is just heating the apartment, and that's what I want to do anyway. Well, cheers. 17.